Before we dive into the methodology and the theory of threat hunting and intrusion analysis, it's important that we get our lab environment set up. And so while this course emphasizes a conceptual understanding, our primary focus is going to be practical. Right? The more you interact with artifacts and evidence and real-world scenarios, the more you'll internalize the workflows that we cover. And so for this reason, to get the most out of the class, I strongly encourage you to build out your own analysis lab and follow along with the exercises as we progress. And ideally, your lab environment should provide you with both Windows and Unix-based analysis capabilities. For the Windows side, you'll want a workstation where you can examine things like file systems or logs or different Windows system artifacts and different PowerShell-based response capabilities as well. Now, a Linux environment will allow you to work with different scripts or command line tools or different forensic utilities and much more. In addition to these endpoints, we'll also be standing up a Splunk instance for performing hunts and intrusion analysis, giving us a centralized platform to explore data and detect anomalies at scale. And speaking of which, at various points in the course, we'll be simulating investigations against systems at scale. And so, obviously, it's not really possible or highly impractical to virtualize an entire enterprise network with hundreds or thousands of systems. It's just not possible to do locally. But fortunately, we don't need to. Most of our exercises are designed to work with post-compromised data that's already been extracted. And when we do run response or collection tools across multiple environments, just a single pair of systems is more than sufficient to demonstrate the same methodology and processes that we would use in a full-scale enterprise environment. And you'll start to see how this approach translates when we reach the collection at scale set of modules. And so, for instance, when we build out our Windows VM, well, you can follow that same process to build out multiple Windows VMs in the same lab network. And so you can sort of simulate an environment and practice collecting and interrogating systems remotely. But just know that you don't have to do this if you don't have the resources or the time to do so. But the methodology and instructions are the same whether we build out a single Windows host or several. Now, when you receive your class files, you'll notice that they're organized in a modular format. And so each module is kind of self-contained within its own archive file that you can unpack and work with independently. Within most lab folders, you'll find a directory called Precooked that often contains pre-populated outputs of scripts or utilities that are used in the lessons. And this is particularly useful if, for any reason, you're unable to follow along with the live execution of a script or utility, or just simply don't want to wait for it to complete. Sometimes different incident response or forensic tools can take a bit of time to actually run through. But you can always reference the pre-cooked outputs to continue your analysis and maintain pace with the course if you want to. And so, setting up your lab environment carefully and familiarizing yourself with the course materials will help you as we progress through the different hands-on exercises. So you'll be able to focus your understanding on the methodology and processes themselves and building up investigative skills rather than troubleshooting setup issues. And so with all that in mind, let's go ahead and get started.